the 14th spot is, she looks like she could be Miss Universe. And finally, moving to the top 2, what countries haven't we mentioned yet in this video?
To our controversial number 1. Welcome to our pre-arrival top 16.
As they are arriving right now.
As they're arriving as we speak.
That's right, in this very moment they are showing up to New Orleans.
But we felt it was important to share our top 16 before things get going, because as you guys know and as we know, this list is about to change.
It's going to change completely once they all get there. Once you can see country standing by country, it's going to change things, because you can look at their socials, you can look at their headshots, you can watch videos of them. Everything changes once they are all in the same geographical location.
But this is fun because we like to see like how spot on or not spot on we were by sharing our favorites before all this happens.
Totally.
It's always fun. That's why we're doing this. That's why you're watching this.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's fun. We're having fun. So no, it'll be good though. Like, it's cool to do this and then be able to go back after it's all done and see how foolish we were. Before we dive into the top 16, I would like to mention a few girls that aren't on the list, but like on the radar: Ukraine, Italy, Curacao, Ghana, Jamaica, and Mexico.
A couple of those will probably for sure be in the top 16 officially. You know what I'm saying? Like in the actual top 16 that comes out, but that's why they're on our radar.
Yeah. I took it upon myself to make a very bare bones PowerPoint presentation.
I think it's great.
So I try my best. Like in this area over here, you'll be seeing what we're looking at right now. So this is my amazing cover page, Miss Universe Top 16, 71st edition, 2022, Sierra and Leighton. And this is our presentation. So leading into the top 16.
I feel like I need a laser.
Into the top 16 we have Cambodia. What do you think about Cambodia?
Yeah, Cambodia was like, I mean, she's obviously beautiful from all her photos, but we really liked her departure photos and videos that we saw. She really gave this like warm energy to her. She looked very like welcoming, I guess. Something about her, like her warmness that she was exuding for her departure, that really seemed to catch our eye beyond all of her amazing photos.
For sure, yeah. This picture right here, I think like I really like her eyes and her eyebrows, and like just she's like cute but like fierce at the same time, and I really like that about her. Next on the list in the 15th spot is Chile.
Miss Universe Chile is a big favorite among many of you. She has captivating eyes. She seems to have the hearts of many of you. Chile is definitely a country that the people of Chile are behind their country. Do you remember Miss Chile from a couple years ago? Unfortunately, she didn't place, but like people were so passionate about her.
Yeah, she's super stunning. I mean, again, eyes, like her eyes are incredible. So next, in the 14th spot is Brazil.
Again, a very passionate country.
Super passionate.
You know what's an interesting fact besides Miss Brazil is that my top country still on Instagram is Brazil.
Oh yeah?
Yes, because when I was competing at Miss Universe, there was a few things shared about me being like curvaceous, whatever, and in Brazil, people became very passionate about, wait, what? She looks like, you know, like a normal body to us. So Brazil, they're very passionate about their women.
Amazing. Yeah, and I really don't think I left it on this page for right now, because I don't think her headshot does her justice.
No.
Honestly, like I almost wanted to like pick a different picture like for the slideshow, just because I just feel like it doesn't do her justice, because when you open it up, or like she's more wow. I don't think that her headshot on the Miss Universe webpage really does her justice. So
well, there was a few like that, and I wondered, is it a strategy that they were like, this headshot's pretty good? Because there were some other contestants as well that I feel like their headshots were not their best shots. She's so beautiful.
She is, yeah.
She seems so fun.
She does. She seems like afraid to show her true colors, you know. Like she's not afraid to be herself, which is very admirable and very respectable. So Brazil in our 14th spot, and now coming in at 13 we have Spain.
Miss Universe Spain, again, passionate country.
What do you think about Spain?
Yeah, I think Spain is great. I think it's always so hard because there's some countries, some contestants where you're like, okay, they seem like a shoe-in, but then they may not place. And I feel like Spain could be one of those women. Hopefully not, but one where you're like so sure that they may place and then for whatever reason they don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, watching this video here, she has a very amazing body. It's very nice. I mean, whatever she's wearing here is definitely it's fitting
Working.
her.
It's working.
It's working. It's happening. But yeah, she's awesome, and that's why she's on our list. Moving on, at number 12, we have India.
India. Many of you have been upset we haven't talked about Miss India yet. Obviously, we think she's an amazing contestant. She just hasn't been like up on our radar as much. And I think though maybe a downfall for her is something we've talked about before, the fact that the current Miss Universe is from India. So she has big shoes to fill.
Definitely.
Because her country is the reigning Miss Universe. So I think that is, there's pros and cons to it, right? There are more eyes on her because the current Miss Universe is from India, but then there's also more pressure on her because you can't even outperform the past contestant unless you win, which is equal performance.
Oh, it's insane. And I mean, this is like the 71st edition of Miss Universe, and it's just happened once where it's been back to back, right?
Right.
I think. So
I think it's once, yeah.
As we have talked about that, going back to back is like very challenging. She's another girl where I don't think her headshot does her justice.
For sure. Because like look at her in the crowning moment.
Right.
Yeah, she looks amazing.
Yeah, like even in this picture here, she looks like she looks way more fierce and like more like a competitor than she does in the headshot. I think you have like you need to have that trait of kind of being like not necessarily cutthroat, but like that fierce look, you know.
Right.
And like yeah, even this video, like she offers a lot, and she's bringing a lot more to the table than I initially thought.
Than you expected.
Yeah,
right?
she wasn't really on my radar at all, to be honest. Like to start it off, and now I wouldn't be able to leave her off the list right now.
Yeah,
so.
it's so not funny, but in 2020, Miss India was my winner. Like I had Miss India winning Miss Universe, and then Miss Mexico won. And then last year, I had India there, but it was almost like I didn't want to be like, okay, Miss India is the winner, because the previous year I said Miss India is the winner and she didn't win, and then India won. So maybe this year I need to be saying, yeah, India's winner.
Yeah, no, to talk about later on, because I did have a winner last year too that didn't win. That's my winner this year. So
okay.
So we'll see about that. So moving on from India into the 11th spot, we have South Africa.
There is no doubt to me that South Africa will bring her best gowns, her best wardrobe. South Africa always shows up. We had the major disappointment 2 years ago when Miss South Africa didn't place. It's very sad. Everyone was so sure, but based on the past performances of Miss South Africa, and then she showed up looking like she could win Miss Universe. Like she was in a lot of people's top 5.
She wasn't in the top. She didn't place. Yeah, her name wasn't called.
No.
Yeah, that was like kind of heartbreak. And it's tough, you know. You there's so much build up and so much everything. You have like the girls that you like, and then sometimes it's such a letdown. And just like, not that you lose all interest, but I think you start to like maybe lose a little bit of interest, or like your mind might start to wander throughout the competition because you're not as invested as you were, right? It seems like every year South Africa sends an amazing delegate, right? And this year obviously is no different. I think she looks amazing. She's stunning. Like she's bringing it, like you mentioned.
Well, and I think as well what's so powerful about her are her advocacies. She is very much about using the platform to advance the advocacies that she stands for. In her advocacies, she talks a lot about education and being able to not necessarily provide education, but making education more accessible in South Africa. I feel like her looks, just everything. She really has, I mean, she could be top 5.
I quite like the look that she's got on the go there. It's definitely, it's quite a bit different. All right, so finally breaking into the top 10. In the 10th spot, we have Aruba.
Aruba is number 1 in some people's predictions so far.
Yeah.
So obviously she's a favorite among some of you for sure.
Yeah. And to be super honest, I started paying closer attention to Aruba because other people were.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's funny. That happens for sure.
It does. So I got influenced by other, and she's amazing, and I'm happy that I'm paying attention to her, because like, look at her, you know.
Right.
She could, like, has Aruba ever placed at Miss Universe?
I think so. Yeah. I thought that our year Miss Aruba was gonna place for sure, like Miss Universe 2016, and she didn't, and I was super surprised.
I feel like it's been a little while though since Aruba's kind of been around, like even in the conversation.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I don't think like that, not in my memory anyway, has Aruba sent like a solid delegate to the competition. And yeah.
So many of the contestants have visited the Miss Universe office.
Yes.
So interesting.
Yeah.
They must have really encouraged it this year.
For sure.
She's in law school? Miss Aruba is a law student.
Amazing. So moving on to the 9th spot, we have Indonesia.
One of your favorites.
She, like, very much one of my favorites. Initially, what was it? I saw her on Miss You updates, I think when she, like, her departure look. And like that's really when she like shot up my list, and yeah, I'm super excited to see what she's gonna bring, what she's bringing. What do you think about Indonesia?
Yeah, I like her too.
Yeah. Next up, in the 8th spot, we have Thailand. So I think that Thailand's gonna be a lot higher on other people's lists.
Yeah.
Honestly, like what you say, she's probably like she would be higher than 8 for most people.
I don't know. I think that there's a mix though. Like I think some people. Okay, I've seen some things about people. Not necessarily upset, but like the whole wardrobe thing, like she has like a bajillion looks. She wears like 3 looks a day already when she's in the USA, because she got to the States like a week ago at least or something. I don't know. But I think people are wanting her true colors to shine through, and they're worried that the organization is making her what they want.
Right.
So I don't know. I think that there are people that have her in the top 10, but they want to see her true colors shine through rather than the organization like making her what they want, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a good point. And we talked so much about being like authentic and just, like being yourself, and it can be hard to do that when you have like a million people in your ear telling you to wear this and do that and act like this. How can you be yourself when you're trying to be all these things? So that's a good point. And she's Miss Garbage, right? Yeah, okay, that's funny. I just had to make note of that.
Yeah, so her story is amazing. Like
yeah, she does.
What she stands for. Will you scroll down? I just want to see that. It says Miss Universe Office.
Yeah. That's Paula Sugar.
Yeah.
Moving on, in the 7th spot, we have Vietnam.
Vietnam is a huge favorite.
Yeah.
I really see Miss Vietnam doing really well this year. As always, Vietnam brings it in the fashion department. They bring it in their stage presence, the walks, just honestly everything. And yeah, Miss Vietnam, we love her. We loved her departure, loved her departure look. It was like so next level. The gown she wore for her departure look really reminded me of what a Miss Universe would wear passing the crown, you know, like it was amazing.
Yeah,
love everything I've seen from Miss Vietnam. I just think she's great.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see her.
She got her place.
She's going to. She's gonna. Yeah, looking at her in this red dress right here, it's like she could be Miss Universe. She looks like she could be Miss Universe, and it's not something I've said yet in this video, so that's interesting. Next up, in the 6th spot, we have Puerto Rico. Also one of my favorites, like early on favorite for me.
Wasn't she your favorite headshot?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, no, I really like Puerto Rico so far, and like this picture of her here, like
yeah, it's stunning.
I feel like I'm gonna keep on saying that, like from here on out, that these girls look like a Miss Universe because like
that's why they're so high on our list.
Exactly. I like this purple dress. It's really cool. Yeah.
I'd like to see her more in like a natural,
like
something more natural. Like that's nice. Her visit to the Miss Universe office.
Yeah.
I can definitely see Puerto Rico in the top 5. Here's what I always think about. The stuff that Miss Universe shares, like Miss Universe organization, what they share on the daily, on Instagram stories, is the Miss Universe, whoever she is, right now it's India, looking more, I don't want to say normal, but like wearing more casual clothes, chatting. So it isn't always about these glam gowns, all that kind of stuff. So I'd like to see more of that from Puerto Rico, like when she shows up and everything. Obviously we want to see glam and everything, but I would also like to see her more kind of like, what does she look like normally?
Yeah,
you know
like
what I mean?
More candid.
Yeah.
Moving on to our top 5, we have in the 5th spot Peru.
Peru is a big favorite for you.
I feel like we keep on running into my favorites right now for some reason.
That's why they're in our top 16.
Absolutely, yeah. And I've said it 1,000 times before, I'm a huge eye guy. I love eyes, and she's got a very beautiful set of eyes on her, like just stunning. And I like this first shot just because like you talked about, I think that's more of like a relatable shot, I think, to me than like
it's
that
not
one,
as like
know?
photo, like not photo, I don't say Photoshop, but it's like
it's not as filtered. I feel like it's more natural.
For me, Miss Peru is the bombshell of the competition. There's like always at least one every year.
Yeah.
She's very much the like beachy waves, blonde, sun-kissed, glowy girl. And yeah, I think I have a soft spot for Peru because I was a judge at Miss Peru a couple years ago, a virtual judge, because that was during COVID where all of us judges were virtually judging. I love Miss Peru always, and yeah, she visited the office as well.
Yeah. So many girls have visited the Miss Universe office.
And they did these like
Yeah. In the 4th spot, we have Venezuela.
I'm actually kind of surprised that she's so high on our list, not because of like who she is, but because she's been like, I think, wowing us since her departure. Do you think?
Yeah. I think that she's definitely shot up the list like completely from like not really, we haven't really mentioned Venezuela too much. So yeah, and how like now that we have, like how do we miss her, you know?
Yeah, that always happens though.
It does,
always feel like
I mean, there are 86 delegates in the competition. It's easy to kind of to lose, not lose one, but easy not to like mention one here and there that end up like on our list like this. She really does seem like the complete package, doesn't she? Like she's super striking. Here's kind of like maybe a shot that you were talking about, like a little bit more like of a candid
like
thing.
She seems really fun, and I feel like we see her personality in some of the content that she shares. She does look like, if she's wearing regular clothes and everything, you're like, she's like a normal girl, you know, which I think is part of, like, a Miss Universe is an exceptional woman, but there's also a level that people want to feel themselves or see themselves in the Miss Universe, like whether that's what they look like, what they wear. Yeah, there's like, you need like both, like they need to somehow be both, like that glam crown sash wearing woman and also the casual jeans at the mall girl.
One might say the complete package. They need to have it all. And she also visited the Miss Universe office, just like so many of the other girls have. So finally, into the top 3, in the 3 spot, we have Colombia.
Again, a big favorite. Among not just us, but so many of you, from her photos, her videos, her departure look. I think she arrived in New Orleans, didn't she? New Orleans. She's
the real deal. Like she is. She looks the part, and her walk is amazing. She seems to talk the part. Every time I talk about talking, I feel like I stutter, which is so funny. Yeah. What do you think about Colombia?
Yeah, I think she has waited for her moment as well, because I forget the order of which things happened, but she won Miss Colombia and then she couldn't compete, and then they appointed her as Miss Colombia this year. I forget the whole order. Many of you may know. If you do, please comment below what the order was again. But she's waited for this moment to represent Colombia at Miss Universe, and she is coming ready to go. Everything prepared, her outfits, just everything. I think she's going to totally wow everyone even more than we're anticipating, if that's possible. Yeah, I'm really excited to see Miss Colombia and can definitely see her in the top 5.
When was the last time Colombia won? Do you know?
Yeah, 2014.
2014, okay. I feel like she's kind of been like kicking around like the top 5 the last little bit. I mean,
okay, winner 2014, first runner-up 2015, top 6 2016, first runner-up 2017. Was she in the... No, she didn't place 2018. Top 5 2019, I think.
Yeah. So, I mean, no surprise that, again, Colombia sends an amazing delegate to the competition, and she also visited the Miss Universe office.
Yeah, I think that Colombia has the most first runner-up positions.
She's been around, for sure. Finally, moving to the top 2, what countries haven't we mentioned yet in this video? Let's think about that for a second before we move on. At number 2, the Philippines. Celeste at our number 2 spot.
She has been the opposite of what we're talking about.
True.
She is showing up so casual. And then someone else, did they make a post about it? They said exactly what we said. I don't know if they saw our video or what, but someone said, like, is this her strategy? Which is exactly what we totally talked about and what you really brought up. Is it Celeste's strategy to be so casual and showcase that aspect we don't see as much? Is like, she was at Disneyland, literally no makeup, a hoodie, her hood up. But I think what we want to see nowadays is that relatability. And I'm interested to see what the Miss Universe organization is going to do, what they're looking for, because I really, really think, as much as we love seeing the glam, the days of this always glam, crown wearing, sash wearing queen are out the window. Like everything we've seen lately from Harnaz, she's wearing like a sweater, she's so casual, like you feel like you could go meet her for coffee. So I really am wondering if that is part of what Celeste is showing. It's like, I'm an everyday girl who also loves dressing up, wearing gowns. This is the opposite of what we're saying.
I know. I was sorry, I had to click on that picture as we were drawn to it. But yeah, 100%.
She's both. Like,
and that's it, right? Like we talk about the complete package, and that's what Miss Universe is. She has it. She has it all. So, and even members of her team are sharing these pictures and stuff. Whereas like in the past, I feel like
if a Miss Universe wasn't wearing makeup, or a Miss Universe contestant, pardon me, wasn't wearing makeup, they'd be wearing sunglasses. And she's fully showing up. She did wear sunglasses at the departure, but she was in, she also has been seen not wearing the sunglasses, no makeup, with like no apologies, right? Like just being,
100%.
being her.
Yeah, so again, very excited to see how she stacks up to the competition, how she looks compared to the other girls, all that stuff in the next couple days here. So that brings us
to our controversial number one.
Yeah, well, kind of now, maybe. I don't like with everything going on. Who have we talked about in the past that hasn't been mentioned on this list? USA.
Now, this is a very interesting person for our number one for a couple reasons. The biggest reason is the whole scandal, if you will, going on around the fairness of Arbany winning Miss USA. We don't know all the ins and outs. We did watch our good friend Danny Walker's video talking about an update on the scandal and how it was potentially unfair about Arbany winning. There's a whole investigation happening. If Arbany is going to be able to continue and wear the Miss USA sash. Danny said she never even thought that was an option. We never thought that either. There's a lot to be said and we don't want to dive too much into this in this video, but Arbany was a favorite to win, scandal aside. She performed very well. I thought she was amazing. I wasn't surprised that she won, and I don't know. I feel like I don't want to go too much into this in this video, but talking about the whole scandal, every time somebody wins a pageant, when I won Miss Universe Canada, there's always people who are murmuring things saying like, was it fair? Was it...
I can think of a term that has been tossed around quite a bit, is the cooking show.
The cooking show.
The cooking show.
Like when I won Miss Universe Canada, people were literally making up that I had packed my suitcase, gone to a different room the night before, completely untrue, that I was ordering room service, charging it to Miss Universe Canada organization when I had my debit card like tapping for my food. There's always something. I don't doubt that maybe something could have happened. I know Miss Universe organization took away the rights from the whatever it was called, but there are always murmurings, whatever. I believe that it could be an indication that change is needed in pageants, that the pageant organizations need to let the women know who are competing that it's more than just judging on like their gown, their interview, this and that, because the whole talk is that the organizations, Miss USA, I don't know about Miss Universe, I'm not going to speak to that, that they have the option, the say to take or put in girls into the semifinals, judging aside. But I think there's a couple things for that, one of which is if a girl has performed very well in interview, in gown, in swim, but isn't a nice person behind the scenes, the organization has the option to remove her and put someone else in, which I believe is fair, because if you have a girl who behind the scenes is treating everyone with disrespect, do you want her winning your pageant? Absolutely not. But the judges won't see that because of course everyone is sucking up to the judges left and right when they have the opportunity. So there's a lot to be said about this. I don't know all the details. I know that there is a formal investigation. Contestants of Miss USA have been interviewed by like the law firm doing the investigation, whatever. Personally, we really love Arbany as a contestant for Miss USA. We love her sustainable fashion. We think she's an amazing contestant. She
hasn't given me a reason to take her out of the number one spot yet. And that's kind of like maybe she will over the next little while, over the next couple days. When I first started getting into like researching Miss Universe 2022 and trying to get an idea of who I was liking, she was number one on my list. And today she's still number one on our list. Doesn't give me a reason to remove her from the top. To mention like what you're saying, it would be different if she paid $100,000 to be the winner, like you know, to pay off the judges or do this or do that. Like it sucks that there is this controversy around her,
especially for her too. Like,
totally.
If she had nothing to do with anything, for them to be trying to like take this away from her and stuff is really sad.
Yeah, and you know, maybe more will come out as time goes on. Who knows? We really like USA, and that's why she's on the top of our list. And of course, as always, let us know who we missed, who would be your number one, who's your top 5, who's gonna win Miss Universe this year. It's a waiting game. We gotta wait and find out.
Yes, one thing I want to mention about USA before we move on, her sharing of sustainable fashion, the new sash is sustainable. So I feel like
it does seem to align.
There are some aligning parts.
Aligns with the brand, with the new direction of Miss Universe. So I visited the Miss Universe office.
Probably. So let us know in the comments, like you said.
Absolutely.
To see all of our upcoming videos, make sure you hit subscribe, hit the notifications bell so you are notified when the new videos come out, and we'll see you there. I don't know what to do.